You've probably heard this all your life. Never skip breakfast. But have you ever wondered who decided that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Was it science or was it brilliant marketing? Let's separate tradition from evidence. For decades, breakfast has enjoyed an almost sacred status. Parents insist on it, schools encourage it, nutritionists often prescribe it. Yet, modern nutritional science paints a far more interesting picture. The truth is, breakfast is neither essential nor unnecessary. It depends entirely on who you are, what you eat, and how you live. So let's start by busting the biggest myth. Skipping breakfast does not automatically slow down your metabolism. This idea has persisted for years, but carefully controlled studies show that our metabolism doesn't suddenly collapse because we delay our first meal by a few hours. Your body is remarkably intelligent. It has evolved over thousands of years to function perfectly well without constant feeding. Just imagine if this was true. In that case, if our ancestors became metabolically inactive every morning till the first meal of the day, humanity probably would not have survived till today's age. There is no universally mandatory breakfast schedule encoded into our DNA. What matters far more is overall dietary quality. A donut and sugary coffee at 8 a.m. is not automatically healthier than a nutritious meal at noon. Timing cannot compensate for poor food choices. Now, here's another common belief: people who eat breakfast are healthier. This is true, but not for reasons most people think of. People who regularly eat breakfast also tend to exercise more, sleep better, smoke less, and generally make healthier lifestyle choices. Scientists call this the healthy user effect. When researchers compare similar people under controlled conditions, breakfast itself contributes much less than overall lifestyle. So, should everyone skip breakfast? Absolutely not. There are many people who will genuinely benefit from eating in the morning, such as children, teenagers, pregnant women, athletes training early in the morning, and people with physically demanding jobs. It also applies to individuals who become excessively hungry later in the day if they skip breakfast. For these groups, breakfast can improve energy levels, concentration, and overall dietary quality. But what about healthy adults with desk jobs? Here's where flexibility becomes important. If you wake up hungry, eat breakfast. If you're genuinely not hungry until 11 am, there is no compelling scientific evidence to force yourself to eat at 7 am. Hunger is a physiological sign, not a moral obligation. Now, let's talk about what people actually eat. This is where the real problem begins. Many commercial breakfast foods are essentially desserts disguised as health foods, such as sugary cereals, flavored yogurts loaded with sugar, fruit juices that remove most of the fiber, sweetened granola, and breakfast biscuits. These create rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by equally rapid crashes. You become hungry again within a couple of hours. Then we blame skipping breakfast instead of questioning the breakfast itself. A high quality breakfast looks very different. Think protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Examples include eggs, Greek yogurt, paneer, sprouts, nuts, oats with protein, or traditional Indian breakfasts that include adequate protein rather than only refined carbohydrates. The goal isn't simply to eat early, the goal is to eat intelligently. Now, let's address intermittent fasting. Many people believe fasting is a magical health hack. Others think it's dangerous. So, what's the reality? The reality lies somewhere in between. Intermittent fasting isn't beneficial because breakfast is harmful. It can help some people simply because it reduces unnecessary eating opportunities and helps maintain an appropriate calorie intake. If it suits your lifestyle, wonderful. If it makes you miserable, there is no need to force it on yourself. Nutrition should fit your life, not the other way around. So, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? As per science, no. You don't need breakfast because a slogan says so. You don't need to skip breakfast because an influencer says so. Your biology is more informative than social media. The truly sophisticated approach is to abandon nutritional tribalism. The most important meal is the one that helps you consistently meet your nutritional requirements without overeating. For one person, that might be breakfast, for another, it might be lunch. For someone else, two well balanced meals a day might work perfectly, others might require three meals. Consistency matters far more than timing. If breakfast helps you maintain energy, productivity, and dietary discipline, there is absolutely no physiological obligation to skip it. Nutrition isn't about blindly following traditions, it's about understanding your own physiology. The best eating pattern is often the one you can sustain comfortably for decades, not weeks or days. So, tomorrow morning, don't ask, should I eat breakfast? Ask, am I genuinely hungry? And if the answer is yes, eat something your future self will thank you for. Breakfast isn't mandatory, but good nutrition is. Focus less on the clock, focus more on the quality of what ultimately lands on your plate. Because health is not determined by whether your first meal arrives at 7 am or 11 am. It is determined by the thousands of dietary decisions you make over the years that follow. And that's a far more interesting conversation than breakfast. Let's save it for another day.